Hello, this is Ada Wells, physical therapist, certified Pilates teacher, and continuing with my series on exercises that I could probably do without or find a little different substitution for them. I'm going to go back to the neck. We've done a few things with the neck already, but one of the things I do not care for are neck rolls. And I don't mind so much the head moving forward. I am just not too fond of the head coming back and around and circling back. The reason why is when you have that head kind of in, especially when it's kind of looking up into the back side of the room, that's actually from a sort of skeletal standpoint, what your skeleton is doing is that places the little gap, the little space where the nerves are exiting the neck in just a really, really small, position. So essentially we're decreasing the space in that area. And now that can actually, if somebody has like a little bit of irritation or they have what's called stenosis, where it's already a little narrowed there, that can be a really uncomfortable position. It can bring on symptoms in the arm. You can actually, if you've got a little bit of, say, some arthritic changes in the neck already, and you're going back into that position, you're essentially compressing those joints in kind of the worst possible way. So I would say, I'm not too fond of that. So I don't like just kind of doing that neck roll up. Now, what people do need to work on is having mobility in this upper thoracic spine, okay? Because usually what happens is people are a little bit rounded, and so the thing is that if your body is rounded, what do you need to do? You're like, oh, I want to look forward. But the problem is if you look at where I'm at here, if I were to straighten up, what am I doing? I'm in extension, okay? And which we already talked about can be sometimes a not so good position of the neck. So we want to work on that upper thoracic mobility. How do we do that? Different ways you can do it, but the first thing you need to think about is that to create mobility up above, you need to have stability down below. So if I don't have good awareness and control of where my ribs are, so my ribs need to stay right over my pelvis, so that when I come up into that little extended position, if my ribs are shearing forward, I am no longer getting the extension from that upper back. I'm getting it down from my low back, which might explain some low back pain a person might have. So the first thing is just wrapping your head around where are those muscles. Now, this can be done in some different positions. Standing is usually not the best position. It's usually the hardest. But you might lie down, face down, and on your stomach, and we'll see if I'm in the frame here, okay? So I kind of brought awareness of where the lower ribs and the pelvis need to kind of stay together. So we're going to keep the ribs in mind. So you can start with your hands underneath your forehead. And what you're going to do is you're going to think about almost imagining you're going to unweight your belly button. Okay, there's a little scale under there. We're going to unweight it about 5 ounces. And from here, lengthening out through the top of your head, we're going to go ahead and slowly start to bring the head up, but think about reaching those ribs down towards the floor as you're doing so, okay? So it's almost like this oppositional force as we're creating a length down as we're creating a motion upwards. And it's not about how high does your head go, because if we do that too much, we're going into too much extension of the neck. It's going to come up a little bit, but I want some of that movement to start occurring higher up. If you let the ribs come off of the floor, we're going to dump into the low back, okay? So that is just something that I want you to keep in mind is just creating that sense of unweighting of the belly button. That just kind of gets you to fire those deep abdominal muscles a little bit, creating a sense of length, which also will fire the abdominal muscles, and then lengthening up. Now my hands in this position, once again, it makes it a little easier to focus higher up into that upper thoracic spine. So that would be my advice on that particular exercise. Okay, so give that a try, and if there's any pain, stop. While I am a physical therapist, I'm not your PT, so make sure that you always take care of your body. Okay, we'll see you next time.